Hello, thanks for coming. This is the first episode of the plant origami design course, and I'm actually pretty excited to get started on this series because I've often heard people ask like, "Oh, yeah, do you have any advice for designing?" And I think the most common response is, just go read Origami Design Secrets by Robert Lang." And so that is a good tip. That's a really good book. I learned most of my origami skills from there. But the problem is, like, a lot of people don't have the money or time to, read through a 500-page textbook. It's basically a textbook, yeah. So I'm going to be, teaching you the most essential design aspects, plus a few of my own ideas. But this is definitely a good resource if you can afford it. Before we get too started, today's course is just a little bit overview, introduction, stuff like that. So about me, my name is Plant or Brandon. I've been designing for quite a while, so here are some of my most recent ones. You can look me up on Instagram, or if you don't want to, you can just see here. So yeah, I definitely know, I got a fair amount of designing under my belt. Yeah. So let's take a look at what we're going to be learning through this series. So today's and the next lesson are going to be kind of softer skills, but before long we'll be getting into some of the technical stuff. So we're going to be using crease patterns, which if you don't know, if you're not familiar with crease patterns, I highly recommend you check out Origami by Boyce. He has a series about crease patterns kind of like this, but for folding instead of designing. So go learn about those if you don't know. The link to Boyce's CP videos will be in the description, along with some other stuff already. We're also going to be using some software. So this one is origami. I made a video about how to use it. It looks like a cockpit, right? But it's once you learn it, it's not too bad. So I recommend you learn that too. It's not required, and like the first few lessons we can do, without crease pattern knowledge, without origami knowledge. But later on, we're going to get into some axial box pleating, which you definitely need crease pattern knowledge for that. About origami, it's kind of like a fancy graph paper. Like you can, move things around. Like if I want to move all of this, I can, just whoa. Never seen that before, but basically, yeah, you can move it around. So this is axial box pleating. These are level shifters. We'll learn some of that. Pythagorean stretches. I'm pretty excited to talk about these ones. These ones are cool. And lastly, if we make it all the way to the end, we might do some tilted grid designing, which is unique to Shuki Kato, but I've been exploring it a little bit. Like here, this one was made with tilted grid, so that might be a treat for the end of the series. Also, I don't know how to, I don't have a good symbol for it, but like we'll do some color change design stuff. So if you notice like all these color change aspects on this model, we'll learn some of that. And we might even do some circle packing here. So, and some of the software that I've been developing with this, we might learn some of that too. Anyways, there's some good stuff planned out, so make sure to stay tuned. I think it's pretty important that you know why you want to designing. Like if you don't know why, you're going to lose motivation. Your reason could be just as simple as like, oh, I'm bored, or I think it's cool, which is great. That's a great reason. You just gotta make sure you know your reason and keep it in mind. So I'll give you some of my reasons why I think designing is super important. Hopefully I'm going to convince you. The first reason makes you a little bit more unique. So not to say that you're not unique already, right? Everyone is a unique and beautiful human individual being, but you definitely do stand out more if you have more original designs. And for example, like on Instagram, there's the recommended profiles. Sometimes I look through those, see their posts and whatnot. And a lot of the time, I see like, oh, look, Ancient Dragon, Phoenix 3.5, maybe some Katsura, Kyohei models. But unless you're like one of those people that are super good at shaping, they can make super expressive and artistic shaping. You kind of blend in if you're just folding other people's models. There's nothing super unique. But if you have original models, like sometimes when I'm flipping through those accounts, I find, oh, I've never seen that one before, and I'll read the caption, leave a like, look for a crease pattern, etc. It's much more interesting, and you can kind of stand out more, easier to stand out. Obviously, not to say like there's no shame if you don't design, right? There are people who are incredible, like really good at shaping and really cool. But this is another way you can stand out even more. completely unrelated reason, you're a lot less limited to things you can fold. Like if you don't know how to design, you're kind of stuck with folding not only what has already been designed, but also what you have instructions for. So people might be designing stuff but not sharing a crease pattern, or you might not be able to afford diagrams or stuff like that. But if you know how to design, and let's say you want to make some super obscure video game character or whatnot, you no longer have to wait for someone else to do it. You can just do it yourself for free, right? And it's again, it also makes you more unique and stuff. So it's a double benefit. And lastly, the third reason, you contribute more to the origami community if you can make your own stuff. Like if you design something, you share the crease pattern, and you see other people fold it, like you helped out someone, you gave them something to fold, you made a difference in them. And it's always a great thing when you see someone fold your designs. It's always a great thing. So that's why whenever you fold someone else's design, you should tag the person, because they want to see it. So hopefully those are just 3 reasons, right? There's a bunch more. Like, it's cool. It definitely is very cool. It's definitely more fun for me. It's more interesting. So homework. I don't know, we're just calling it a class, quote unquote homework. But I want you to just think about like why you want to design, and just kind of keep those reasons in mind. And you can leave a comment down below or something like that. You might want to take a look at what other people are saying. It'll inspire you. Also, quote unquote study group. It's not a study group. It's just a group of origami people. But I'm sure you've heard me plug the origami Discord before. There's actually 2 Discords now. One of them, the regular one, Origami Dan, is just general origami stuff. Always a good place to go. But a newer one is the Origami Design Discord. So it's specifically more about designing stuff. You have questions about techniques, your process, etc. Stuff like that. You wanna hop in there as well. So the links for both of those will be in the description. Before we get to the next video, or you can just skip ahead if you want. You will want to, 1, know why you're designing, and 2, join that. And also another thing is kind of catch up on crease patterns and origami if you don't already know that. That's something important that if you have the time, you should try to learn that. Anyways, this episode was kind of a soft skill one, but in the future we're going to be getting into some of the more, well, I don't want to say mathematical, because sometimes people are scared away by math. We're not doing calculus here. We're not really solving equations or anything. There's some stuff with angles and slopes, but that's about it. So we will be getting into some of the more technical mathematical stuff later on. So stay tuned, and then yeah, thanks for coming. Shout out to these people from whom I copied the Google Slides template. Anyways, thanks. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for the next episode.